Cyber Monday, and even if we don't celebrate the same Thanksgiving. So yeah, but no, nothing much.
Well, that's cool. I just started recording, by the way.
Okay.
So listen to your Canadian talk about our wonderful Black Friday tradition, which is actually kind of an awful tradition, honestly. Your Thanksgiving's what is it? The first?
First, it was like, is it October or something? Yeah,
You don't know when
early
Canadian
October.
Thanksgiving is?
Shit, I don't know. It's never the same.
Jesus. All right. Well,
Sorry,
let's
guys.
kick off the podcast. Welcome to the Practical Pistol Show. My name's Ben, here to answer shooting questions. On deck today, we've got Canadian guy Birdie. Say hello, Canadian guy.
Hello, Canadian guy.
Uh-huh. And we have a Korean guy, Kimmy. Say hello, Korean guy.
Hi. Hello, Korean guy.
I have an extra jumbo thing of Pure Leaf iced tea right now. It doesn't taste very
Yum.
good, and it's not very cheap. I really have no idea why I'm drinking it. Whatever. All right. Before we get into the show topics, we've got a couple of business things we got to talk about. Well, not really business things. Let me pull it up here. If you are in the Houston area, or you're going to be in the Houston area, I have a couple classes there that have slots in them. They are Saturday, December 9th, Sunday, December 10th for Practical Shooting Fundamentals class. And there's a Skills and Drills class, which may be full, maybe not. It's Monday and Tuesday, December 11th and 12th. Both of these are Houston area. If you want to get on those, go to benstoeger.com. Send me an email or click on the Take a Class, send the class organizer an email. If you want more information, whatever, email those guys, they'll tell you. Okay, more interesting stuff. This airs Thanksgiving Day, I think. Is that right? Thanksgiving's this week, isn't it?
It is.
Yes,
In
Thanksgiving is
3
on
days.
Thursday. Okay, so Black Friday is a big shopping day. So benstegerproshop.com has a bunch of crap that they're, a bunch of fine products that they're offering discounts on this year. Okay, so let me run it down really quick. Lock grips, 20% off. Special dry fire target pack, 50% off. Pro grip, 20% off. Paster gun, free shipping. Easy off base pads, the shock bottle ones, those are 20% off. Those are the ones I use on Tanfolios. I think they have them for CZs and SIG 320s and maybe some other stuff as well. All CompTac crap, 10% off. MBX Extreme stuff, 10% off. Flip tray for the Hundo gauges, 20% off. Hundo case gauges, 10% off, and free shipping. I should point out now the free shipping is for the 48 states in the U.S. If you don't live there, you're fucked on the free shipping. Pocket Pro and Pocket Pro 2, including a free case, includes a free case if you buy that stuff. Range backpacks, free shipping. Mr. Bullet Feeder, $40 off. That's kind of interesting if you're going to buy one of those anyway. And DVD combo pack, that's 2 instructional DVDs from me, 50% off if you want any of that. If any of that stuff sounds interesting to you, benstegerproshop.com on Friday. Pretty sure the deals run Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, if that's something you want. And if that's not something you want, that's cool too. I don't really care. I'm just obligated to say these things. All right. Ready to get started with the show, guys?
Yes.
Yeah, sure.
All right. So I got an email from a dude. What are your thoughts about PCC? Do you think it's good or bad for the sport? If you have already done a podcast on this, what number was it? Thanks. I enjoy your show. And I think before I even got a chance to reply, he sends me another message. I found your old podcast, number 143. Everything you guys predicted has come true, especially the stage designs. It's funny to see the difference between stages designed by rifle shooters and pistol shooters. We've got a running joke around here that high overall matters. I don't know. Like we're a year away from a year of PCC has happened. What do you guys think about it? You guys don't have it in Canada yet, Birdie.
Nope, not yet. We're just getting into production optics, so
Very
and
exciting.
we're not gonna. We actually got an email that it's not gonna happen at any sanctioned match in
What's not going to
Canada.
happen?
The PCC thing.
So no IPSC match or no level 2 match?
No level 2 matches. sanctioned matches in IPSC will have PCC.
Okay.
Oh, the IPSC Extreme Euro Open next year will have PCC.
Yeah. That's in Europe. That's in
Yes.
Czech Republic. But yeah, Canada, they denied it. It's just not gonna happen. But anyways, in Canada, we're stuck with like 10 rounds capacity for pistol mags. So Glock mags would run at 10 rounds, but any MPX mags or Scorpion mags would run at 5 rounds. So it's not doable.
Sounds very exciting. I think the whole point of PCC is to have like 50 rounds.
To never reload.
Yeah, to have no reloads. So, Kim, any thoughts on PCC?
So in my state, ever since PCC was announced, people shoot a lot. Actually, a lot of people moved to PCC, and all the local matches in Washington State, northwest side. I don't know about the east side. They all allow PCC, and I think there's at least a dozen or more shooters each match now, and it's run flawlessly. And people really like it because some people can't afford open guns, but want to shoot 30 rounds plus.
Yeah.
That's good.
I've seen some matches where you'd think it was like a PCC match. Like I shot a club match in North Carolina, and there's a ton of people shooting PCC. And then I've shot at other clubs where there's like open hostility towards PCC shooters. It's like really weird. It's super regional. It really depends on where you are. It's like some guys shooting 3-gun who just want to practice for 3-gun, and there's some guys who aren't interested in shooting a handgun, or they just want to tinker with a new PC gear or fucking around in PCC. I don't know. I don't have a lot to say about it that it hasn't already been said. It's just kind of like, yep, there it is. The PCC is a thing that you can do if you want to do it. You know?
Yeah, actually, I think it looks fun. Like, I would do it just for fun, but that's it. I mean, I'm still
No, there are some people
pistol
that
shooter.
actually take it seriously.
Yeah, I get
I find that strange, but
fine. But
people do what they do.
they do.
All right. Next question. This question is crazy convoluted the way he asked it, but I think we can get to something useful if we take our time about it. This question is regarding shooting stance and if it changes when shooting from behind a barricade like they use for classifiers. So he wrote a shooting scenario, which I'm not going to read because it's just going to confuse people. But here's his question. Does your shooting stance change from either side of a barricade, assuming you have to lean out a bit and cannot see the targets from a normal shooting stance if the targets are right in front of you? This is assuming you're shooting two-handed. I'm curious about if you put your left and right foot forward, depending on what side of the barricade you're shooting around. Please discuss where your weight is, on which foot. Is there more on the front, the left, equal, whatever. So, what do you guys think about this? Shooting around barricades. How do you change your stance to shoot around barricades?
I can go first.
Yes.
So
Please do.
it depends on the angle, of course. Sometimes you have to shoot. Literally, sometimes your gun has to be outside of the barricade to reach if it's a really deep corner. And sometimes if the target is not too deep inside of the angle, then I don't necessarily change my shooting stance at all if I can not lean out in the first place. But if I have to lean out to actually get to the target, then I focus on two parts. The first part will be, of course, the foot pressure or foot position this guy talked about. The foot position is mainly because of the angle. Sometimes if my right foot is forward, if I'm shooting from the right side, I can see the target, but if my right foot is way behind, sometimes I can't see it. Then that dominates my foot position. But I don't really think about in terms of foot pressure sometimes. I would just have strong core, because if my core is not engaged, my shoulder can be really far out, then my triangle or my grip angle can be tilted. So whenever my grip angle is tilted, the point of aim changes, the recoil impulse changes. So I try to make my shoulder line straight and my grip angle doesn't change. In order to do that, sometimes when I'm leaning out, I have to have really strong core and not let the body break, basically. That's it.
Okay. So, Kim, let me read the shooting scenario now because I don't think it'll confuse you that much if I read it now. All right, so here's the scenario that he has as a sample. Targets are set up where there is one target on the left, exactly in front of the barricade, and one on the right, exactly in front of the barricade, say at 10 yards away. You shoot the targets from one side of the barricade and then shoot the targets from the other side of the barricade. So now he's asking about changing your foot position around.
Oh, is this scenario where you shoot left and then go to the right?
Yes, or left and go, or the reverse. Yeah.
Yeah. Then I push out with my legs and then I guide with my core. So I'm basically squeeze my core a little bit to actually bring the center of gravity in. So it's more like a crouching a little bit. It's not really visible a lot, but I crouch with my core and then kick out with my legs.
Yeah.
This is my short example. Yeah, short explanation.
What I have to say about the barricade thing, and Berta, you can tell me what you think about this. I like to disrupt my normal shooting stance as little as possible. So, if it's a barricade for a classifier, for example, you have a good chance to take a look at it and decide how you want to stand there. But I tend to want to stand square, so not really leaning in one side or the other, both my feet back off the barricade, neither foot forward, 50-50 weight distribution, that kind of a thing. And the harder the leans get, the more you change that, where you start putting one foot up towards the barricade more. I mean, whichever side you have to lean in, you put a foot up more, you bend your knees more, you disrupt your stance more to get around and reach the targets. But it's as little as possible, depending on whatever the scenario is. And on a classifier where, let's say, you have to reload and go around the other side, while you're reloading, that gives you a chance to reposition your feet. So that would be something I would take advantage of to make it advantageous to get around the other side. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, the more you're leaning, the more you're going to bend the knees, just like you said.
And
so
the more you get away from that 50-50 weight distribution where you start to really favor one side.
Yeah, and like Kimi said, you're going to engage your core, like so your upper body is pretty much always going to stay the same. It's the legs and the core that is going to work to keep the balance.
One thing I will say is on actual stages where there's leaning, not a barricade, not a classifier thing, but something where you run up to a leaning position, at a big field course, and you take a lean and then you get out of that position and take off and go to another spot. That's where it becomes a lot more challenging to hit your leans, That's my opinion. Anyway.
Yeah. It's hard to kind of have to quick step into the position. Otherwise, you're just going to run over the fault line and lose balance and reposition yourself. That happens to me a lot.
What?
You're just like you're just like too much in the momentum, and you just go over the fault line.
Jesus. I had that happen to me once really bad. It was more than 10 years ago, and I still remember doing it.
Oh,
Like
well,
it was It was a 20 yards run.
20 yards run? Oh, okay.
You saw me do what?
No, well, lose balance. It was a weird stage. It was at Nationals, Canadian Nationals. But it was like that little bridge thing.
Oh yeah.
And the range was
that wasn't so good.
Like, so it was just terrible. We all lost balance on that stage.
It was not good. That was not good. But I remember one where I was like running up to a position and I overran it by 2 full steps. Because I remember thinking during the walkthrough, it's like, I'm going to run up there as fast as I can. I'm just going to run so fucking fast. It's going to be crazy. And I ran, but I don't run that fast. And then I got over there and I overran it anyway, like an idiot. God damn it. Shit frequently does happen with me. Oh my God. All right. So I think we nailed that question. Look, since it's Thanksgiving, let's talk about your year in shooting. Alex, are you thankful for anything this year? You've had a couple major developments happen.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, well, yeah, the season's pretty much over, and
Yeah, it's over, dude.
okay.
It's November, what, 21st? Yeah, it's over.
Yeah, so
En
I
masse.
mean, it was a big year. I've never shot so much, so it was definitely different in terms of training, but I mean, it was yeah, I guess major improvements. I would say it was a lot more mentally and in just getting more aggressive when I'm not shooting, and still keeping my accuracy and my points for when I'm shooting, and shooting a lot more 1-for-1, like no pickup shots, one hit on steel, and that was what I focused most, I would say, this year, and I would say it paid off.
Yeah, you made a big move above where you were last year.
Yeah, definitely.
So where it was like you were Canadian champion last year by a little, and now it was a lot more comfortable.
Yeah,
And then top 16 at the World Shoot, was it?
yeah.
And now you're
16.
going to be living that pro shooter life next year,
Looks like
right?
it.
So you're cashing
Well,
that pro shooter checks.
well, it's a job. I mean, I'm
Yeah,
working,
yeah. Yeah, it's a tough job, right?
Mm, well, it's a fun job, that's for sure.
I'm laying on the sarcasm pretty thick.
Your fingers get too tired, huh?
Yeah, fingers get tired from all the shooting. It's like, oh my God, so much shooting. All right, Kimmy, you had a pretty good year too, didn't you?
Sucks.
Yeah. So, this was my third year shooting. Now, this season is over, and then now I'm fourth year shooting. So first 2 years, I shot 3 or 4 majors per year, and then as my third year, I shot 14 majors.
Holy shit.
And yeah, now I'm getting sponsored by Walther. Yeah, since last year. I mean this year. So I shot major matches, and the first couple, I quickly realized, oh, my match management is not really great. So I started studying about the match management because major matches tend to last a couple days, and sometimes if you are trying to shoot really busy schedule, you tend to shoot 10 hours. You're standing at the range 10 hours a day, kind of thing. So I quickly realized, oh, my brain focus or focus sharpness doesn't last more than 6 hours. Then let's make it happen to the whole 10 hours. And I talked to a nutritionist. Then I started researching how can I be consistent the whole time. And I found out some people drink caffeine like a lot, kind of thing.
What?
I tend to find I met many people actually do that.
What are you
Drink.
talking about?
I don't know, but
Who are
then
these people?
I have no idea.
What's wrong?
I met somewhere, and then I met nutritionists, actually 2 nutritionists, and then they gave me advices about the nutrition part. I mean, that helped me in terms of my physical consistency, and then also mental consistency. I came up with this a couple of drills that actually tests my physical limit and like trying to think at a higher heart rate and stuff like that. Stress training basically, and those helped me to actually have better match management and last longer at matches. It was really good.
So
So
you had a
after the
pretty
war
fucking
shoot-
productive year. Well, you came second at Carry Optics Nationals. So that's very interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah,
when the
even
workshop was
Burdette's
over, I
impressed.
was
That
like, I want to
motherfucker's
shoot
not impressed
more.
by anything.
Oh yeah, actually, when I won, I mean not won. When I did well at the Carry Optics Nationals, it was not really, really hitting me, so to say. I was like, oh, okay. It was actually a great achievement, but now I realize it's good achievement, I think.
Yes, no, it is. Because, like, nobody cares if Max wins another Nationals, right? But the guy in second, that's pretty interesting. I'm sorry to say it. Right?
I think so.
All right. Well, this is good. No, it's been a good year for everyone. Do I have to
Yeah.
talk about my shit too?
Yeah, come on.
Um,
Don't lie. It was a good
I
year for
won
you.
every match I shot this year.
That's good.
That's pretty fucking good. I'm not going to lie. I'm very happy with the results of that. I'm a quite a lucky motherfucker. It's been like basically the best year of my life, so I have a lot to be thankful for that way. Hanging out with cool people. Stayed with Kim at World Shoot. That was fun. Birdie came over and got crunk. That was pretty fun too. What else happened? I've been traveling all over the place, meeting interesting people and shooting stuff. So I'm having a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And I got a jumbo iced tea. No small iced tea. Jumbo iced tea.
See, no need caffeine. Just iced tea,
Iced tea has a shitload of caffeine in it.
Pepsi Zero, and some monsters.
I might be one of these caffeine people that he's talking about. I don't know. And I don't know, as far as my own shooting, I'm very, I feel I did a really good job of managing myself this year. Like match management, the stuff that Kim is bad at. I'm good at it now, I think.
Yeah. By winning by so close. Keeping like the math. So you.
Well, it's mostly like anybody can do math,
no.
but like staying calm in the face of the math.
Oh yeah, it's
That's good.
crazy. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, the one talent that I have for this is I'm like my temperament is wired for USPSA, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Like guys that get really amped up and then start doing dumb shit, put themselves out of a big match. Like I don't have that thing, or I have the ability to not do that. That's a better way to express it. If I have talent, that's what it is. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah, man.
All right. Well, another bang up podcast. Thank you guys for coming on. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody listening to this in the U.S. And if you're from outside the U.S., I don't know. Happy Thanksgiving to you too.
They
It's a
can
very
still enjoy
American
your.
holiday.
They can still enjoy the sales and everything from the pro shop.
I mean, some of them, not the free shipping stuff. Like, no, that's
No.
not. That's not for you.
No.
But the other stuff, yeah, you can enjoy the other stuff.